Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. We're back again with more Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Let's get into it. Jernot just died. We're trying to investigate the mystery at Chili Creek. And there's this large water elemental. Easy to take out.
Save the last one for me.
Let's see how these other two go. Also easy to deal with. Oh, whoops. Thought you were dead. Saw all that. I saw all that red circling around. It was like, oh, you're a goner. All right. Take the boat to the isle. What is more dangerous, the unpredictability of nature or the hostile intentions of another? The malevolent force hiding on this isle is as wild, volatile, and ruthless as the natural world, but it also has a cunning intelligence, a devious and vindictive desire to keep away unwanted visitors. As soon as the commander reaches for the oars, the water around the boat turns into a thick sheet of ice that freezes the vessel in place. What will the commander do now? What do I have available to me? 30, 42. Mobility. Jump into a nearby boat and push it away from the shore before it freezes too. The commander swiftly leaps into a different boat and pulls away from shore. The cold ice suddenly melts away, releasing the banks of the river from its frigid grasp. The commander sets off for the shore of the small, rocky isle, but his journey does not go unnoticed, and it seems that someone on the isle does not like uninvited guests. Suddenly, the mist that rises from the surface of the river thickens into a dense cloud of fog. It blinds the commander and obscures his surroundings. Where is the shore? Where is the isle? The fog is so thick, the commander cannot even see the oar he is holding in his hands. What will the commander do now that he is blinded by the fog? Perception, I assume? Yep. Perception. Close his eyes. It is time to navigate by sound rather than by sight. The sound of running water, the splash of a fish, the wind rustling through the branches of the forest, the sound of a bird chirping on a shore far away. All of these sounds paint a picture in the commander's mind that no fog can hide. A light breeze slowly begins to dissipate the cloud of fog. The boat is headed straight toward the island. It will not be long before the commander reaches the black, rocky shore of the Pikefin. The rocky isle is desolate and bare. Blue-gray lichen and a few sparse, straggling weeds are all that survive on its black, rocky shore. Further inland, the entrance to a cave gapes open like a toothless mouth. Suddenly, a violent gust of wind sweeps out from the entrance of the cave toward the river. The water, which was calm only moments ago, begins to swell into massive, foaming waves that threaten to smash the boat into the boulders along the coast. How will the commander reach the shore? Mobility. Throw an anchor toward the coast and attempt to latch onto the rocky shore. The anchor catches hold of the black rocks along the shore. The rope goes taut and the commander is able to safely disembark. The moment the boat touches the shore, the storm subsides as suddenly as it started. It is hard to believe that only moments ago, this calm, lazy river was a maelstrom of raging waves and rushing currents. The air is still and peaceful. The howling gales and roaring winds have completely subsided. The isle looks calm, but so did the river. Looks can be deceiving. The lichen-covered black boulders along the shore do not look like they have ever been disturbed. It would be easy to assume the isle is uninhabited. There are no bones or traces of any rituals. But after moving further inland, the commander sees Markle's boat. It has been carefully pulled up into the shore by the reach of the waves. Noises can be heard from within the cave ahead. There's a shrill, angry voice, followed by the sound of a woman's scream. All right.
Now what is that?
I remember this place being super annoying. That's done.
What do we have here? I am helpful, am I not? Now, what is that? What's on your mind? I wonder. I hope hope you appreciate
More,
this.
more.
I am helpful, am I not?
Then we had to go all the way back around.
I'm gone.
Open your heart to me. The spirits guide me.
This is when it's nice to have Woljif with those
I am helpful.
glowing hands where he'll just reach 30 feet and handle this without
Well?
you all the back and forth.
What do we
Oh
have
my
here?
god.
I hope you
Disable
appreciate
that.
this.
Disable that.
I am helpful, am I
And
not?
just for kicks. Let's go ahead and also disable that. And then you would still have to come all the way around to disable this other one. So fine.
We do it my way.
Save again here. Get a little haste. There we go. The cave is cold and dark. The ground is covered in fog, and an icy current of air flows toward you from the depths of the cave. Water drips from the ceiling, and dim lanterns cast grotesque shadows on the walls. All these years we've been worshiping the three of you? All our prayers to the icy rill, all our sacrifices. Oh, gods and our children, it's been you the whole time? Melissa is huddled in a corner, clasping a withered wreath of grass and flowers to her chest. She looks like she's been crying. Standing in front of her are three horrifying old hags. Markle sits at their feet like a faithful dog. And what's so wrong with us, child? The old woman's skin is even whiter than her hair, and her breath hangs in the air like an icy mist. Her voice is kind, but her gentle words lack sincerity. Beneath her friendly exterior, she is as cold and ruthless as ice. We did not wish to bring any harm to you or your brother, but unfortunately, you have not given us what we are owed. Deliver to the river what is rightfully hers, and both of you can leave in peace. You're always too soft, Lavixia. This hag's voice sounds like the roar of the wind during a storm. Her skin is covered in spidery blue veins, and her eyes flash like lightning. Do what you're told, lass. Hand over that wreath or face the consequences. You won't escape us. You can run, but you can't hide from old Latinda. Larita, Lavixia, my sisters, do you hear me? Do you know what is destined to happen? Must happen? This old woman speaks in a whisper. Her blind eyes are as cloudy as the fog on the river, but she turns and points her finger at you resolutely. Look who has arrived. This is the one whose face was revealed to us in the dark waters. He's arrived already? Well, that is a surprise. The old woman clucks approvingly. We dislike uninvited guests, but you are clearly strong, agile, and smart. We appreciate those qualities in a person. Very well, since you're here, you might as well come in. Melissa, are you all right? Commander, he will still be praised. Those things drove Marco crazy and made him kill my husband. I don't know what they want. Please save us. So you praise the old stag now? Ungrateful child. Who has kept you fed and protected you from every danger? Did your mother worship the old hunter? How about your grandmother or her grandmother before? Did they offer him praise? I think not. The hag shakes her hoary head in disapproval. Markle, what's wrong with you? Lavixia reaches down to give the man at her feet a pat on his head. He is absolutely fine. He is a good boy, an obedient boy. He respects his elders, never talks back, and has respect for his mother river. Isn't that so? Markle's face is contorted in pain. You can see the desperation in his eyes as he struggles against the power that has seized control of his mind. Help me. Save my sister from me. The river will take. The river always takes what belongs to her. Who are you? Who are we? Perhaps we are the waves on the river or the fish in the deep. Perhaps we are the mist on the water. Are we solid ice or a raging storm? Why do you ask the question when you already know the answer? Latenda's eyes stare blindly off into the distance. Haven't we already met between the two shores? My sister is wise, but she likes to speak in riddles. Levixia's icy blue lips curl into an amicable smile. We are the three maidens of the river, generous to those on the water and revered by those on the land. We fill nets with fish, we keep the filth of the abyss away from our people, and we ask for very little in exchange. Ungrateful mortals! Larita stomps her feet. We do everything for them, and what do we get in return? Nothing. Instead of being thankful for our protection, these ingrates have started praying to some old bowman. So you've been deceiving the villagers. They think that they worship the river. They have no clue what they're actually offering sacrifices to three hags. Is this deceit? They pray to the river. Are we not the embodiment of the river? They make sacrifices. Do we not accept them? And when they ask for help, do we not help? Well, there's gratitude for you, mortals. We stay awake all night out of concern for their well-being. We fend off demons so they can feel safe. But instead of appreciating our efforts, they call us liars. If it was up to me, I'd make you... Ugh! The hag shakes her fist. You shouldn't insult us like that. We find your accusations offensive. We are not mortal tricksters pretending to be gods. We are one with the river. The villagers have agreed to pay the price for our help. We offered them a fair bargain. The hag glares at Melissa coldly. This stupid girl decided to cheat us. If anyone here has fallen victim to deception, it's us. What's going on here? I don't know. They did something to Markle. They made him kill Jernon, then they ordered him to bring me here. And now they want... We don't want much, child. Just your wedding wreath. Give it to us and the two of you can leave in peace. After all, we have protected you from all kinds of calamities. We have provided your village with food. Don't we deserve your respect and gratitude for our gifts? Will you begrudge us the one thing we ask of you? Why do you need it? Melissa wipes away her tears. You've killed my husband. I am a widow now. Why do you need my wedding wreath? You recall Jernal's words. When the villagers cast away their wreaths, they promised to give their firstborns to the river. Why would the hags want a widow to complete this ritual? There can only be one answer. Melissa doesn't know it yet, but she must be pregnant with her firstborn child. What did you do to Markle? Have you managed to take control of his mind? How does the river control a leaf that falls into its stream? How does the sky control the fog that rolls in off the water? We didn't do anything. We didn't have to. He is a firstborn, and that means he belongs to us. In fact, he was promised to us before he was born. We kept him alive because we thought he might prove useful, and we were right. The river is patient. She does not need to hurry. She can take what belongs to her whenever she wants. That's right. He belonged to us before he was even born. He'll do whatever we tell him to do. Larita shrieks with laughter. Melissa, you are with child. If you give them your wreath, you'll be giving away your child as well. What? The woman places her hands on her belly protectively. She no longer looks afraid. She stares up at the hags in outrage. So that's what this is all about. That is why you dragged me here. You didn't want the wreath. You wanted what it represents. You killed the man I loved, and now you want to take my child away from me too? Never. I will not let that happen. So that means Markle can barely speak. He struggles to finish his sentence, but with each word he utters, he sounds less obedient and more angry. You are the reason I killed my brother-in-law. Thanks to me, Melissa's child will never know their father. And now you want to take this child from their mother? I won't let that happen. I won't allow it. Wait, what's going on? Are you trying to rebel against us, boy? Don't forget, you will belong to us for as long as you live. You cannot get rid of us, no matter how hard you try. We just have to say the word, and you will be under our control. Markle grabs a stone from the cave floor and attacks the hag. You hear a disgusting crunching sound as Markle smashes the rock into the hag's arm. The hag shrieks and lashes out at the man, dealing him a powerful blow that causes him to fall to the floor unconscious. Kill them, sisters! No one leaves this place alive! And we'll start with you. Oh crap, I should have started with you. Oh well. Ooh, -2 strength, that'll work. And now the Lich. Quicken you. Can we get all three? We can get all three. And that did nothing. So we'll try something else. There we go. Alright, now you. Are we still hasted? We are still hasted. That's gonna last for a little while. That'll last for a little while. 33. And Camellia can't charge there. She can charge here though. Whoops. I forgot. Turn that on. Alright. Castiglier. You can. I guess each one of them is going to attack somebody different, huh? Okay, it's okay. Oh, that's all he had available. Oh well. And why can't you charge? Are you tired? What's the problem? He's holding a melee weapon. He's not exhausted. Oh, her blast. It didn't do damage, but it froze him in place. Yikes. It froze Sail too. That is just unfair. And that was close as well. Yep. This is not cool. All right. We already did that. Actually, no. We'll just stick with one. There we go. She's gone. You're not gonna do any more to her? Dug it. Okay. I'll put this on her. Oh no! What's wrong with our Lich? He's paralyzed. That's highly uncool. Oh, this is not good. It's really not good. Alright, Camellia.
The spirits demand your blood.
Come on, girl, one more. Oh well. Castiglier, how about you? Excellent. Can you continue with her? Nope. No? Oh well. So Sail. Paralyzed. Let's get a little bit closer, help out Castiglier too. Apparently we should have done that before the battle. Oh well. You good now? You can move at least. Alright. Probably couldn't have been able to charge from there anyway. I don't remember half this crap. Alright. You're almost dead. I appreciate that. My head. Melissa, are you alright? Let's get out of here. Hurry. Let's get back to the village as soon as we can. The accursed cave makes me feel sick. Excellent. Tax of opportunity. Okay. What is that shocking thing? Is that ending? That is ending. Or at least it's not doing you damage. There we go. Still, what is the problem? Oh my god, he's paralyzed for real. Oh, this is not good. Not good. It's not giving him like a save or something where he could just get over it. Oh, here. Rabid Rippers. Whenever the wearer of these knee pads confirms a critical hit with a natural weapon, that enemy must pass a Fortitude saving throw DC 33 or become vulnerable to slashing and acid damage for 3 rounds. And I don't think we got anything else that. some. Okay.
The world has suffered enough.
Paralyze. I don't think. Heal doesn't do anything with paralyzation, right? I don't think it does. Blinded, confused, dazed, dazzled, diseases, ulcer fatigued. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. What does that freaking thing look like? Remove blindness, remove disease, remove fear, remove paralysis.
My will is resolute.
Hey, I'll take it. Seriously? That thing is still happening? I gotta take the armor off this dude. DC 15 plus your caster level. And it's still not happening, huh? Interesting. I'll take this little bit of XP.
I do what I must.
Yep, I knew that those hags were no joke. Alright, let's go ahead and head back. Level up after we get through with the quest. Thank you for saving us from these monsters. I didn't think I was going to survive. And Markle, I thought I'd lost him forever. Sister, forgive me. I have no excuse for my actions. It's not your fault, I guess. Those hags were controlling your mind, weren't they? They would never have ensnared me if I had not been such an easy target. I really did not like Jernah. I was against your marriage, and the hags used that to control me. Melissa looks down. After a while, she answers softly. I don't know if I will ever be able to really forgive you, but you are the only family I have now. What are the two of you going to do next? I will bury my husband in the ground, and then... Melissa carefully places a hand on her belly. Aristo be my witness. I'll soon have my hands full, but not here. I don't want to see this river ever again. It is my fault that your daughter will grow up without a father. I know that an uncle is no substitute for a parent, but I swear to do everything I can for her. Do you tell the villagers the truth? Do they know that they have been worshipping hags this whole time? I did, but they don't believe me. Melissa casts a glance toward the village and shakes her head bitterly. They don't want to believe the truth. They say it must have been a nightmare or that Markle drank too much. They come up with dozens of different explanations because the truth is just too terrible to bear. They'll keep practicing their rites. I wouldn't be surprised if another nasty creature comes to live on the Pikefen in a couple of years. I'm sure there are plenty of foul things that would gladly prey on these villagers and accept their sacrifices. I can't live among these people anymore. Markle, are you free from the evil influence of the hags? I am. The hags are dead. I am my own man now. Thank you. Melissa, I am sorry for your loss. Thank you. I loved him so much. I thought we had a life ahead of us. She wipes her eyes. Well, it is time to say farewell. Yes, Melissa tries to smile. I'll pray to Aristo for you every day. Here, take this. This is an old family heirloom. I don't know how many generations it's been in our family, but now I want you to have it. Take it as a sign of my gratitude. I hope it will help you on your path to victory. Thank you for everything. Farewell. Still, you know, we're not going to level up here because that icy thing is just going to irritate me. So we're going to get out of here first and then level up in the next area we're at. And that ends the Chili Creek mystery. Overall, I'm going to be honest with you. I was underwhelmed with that quest for the most part. I love mysteries. I don't like it when a game doesn't give you any sort of way to figure out or solve it, and when there's only one way to end it. I've completed the game multiple times, and as far as I can tell, there's no way where you can save Jurnah. There's very little differentiation as far as how that quest ends, besides whether or not you're able to save Markle along with his sister. So I'm just not a fan for something that had so much mystery around it. Feels a little undercooked to me. You're coming from over there, which means my main army is going to meet you anyway, so I don't have to worry about you. All right. But other than that, it is cool to be able to face hags. Like, I think you only face hag one other time during the game. Feel like I did this wrong. It's been so, all the playthroughs I've been doing, I've been going auto crusade, so it's actually been quite some time since I even had to deal with the crusade in Act 5. So I'm trying to remember those other times. Did I have to go all the way around to go to that second part? I can't remember though. All right. Why can I not click on the Lich? Oh, because it's still in turn-based mode. Here we go. Okay, cool. And we're going to do that. Yeah, those are spiders. Why am I getting a group of spiders out here? What's up with that? Come on, man. Now you're just wasting my time. Doom, doom. There we go. You're still not available. Cool beans. I'll deal with the recruits in a moment. I feel like last time it didn't give me a real indication. Here we go. There we go. Okay. That I had more movement points available. All right. I know we need you. We need you. We need you. And we could get a double dose of you, but I'm not going to be greedy about it. I'm not going to go that far. You know what? We're not getting more vampires. It doesn't really make sense for us to have the vampires on the list. We might as well just add marksmen. Or we could do signifiers. But I just feel like you can't get signifiers as high as you need to really, really make the most of them. And you know what? Now that I think about it, this is pretty much all we're spending money on anyway. So might as well just go for the gusto. I want that, but I can't use that right now. Where's the expendables at? You're back here? Cool. Wait. There we go. There we go. Excellent. Then 2. That's you. $45 hedge knights. Interesting. All right, you take their marksmen. Oh, yeah, you can have signifiers, and I guess I'll give you those hedge knights too. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you know what? I did this wrong. I should have let this move over to them, but whatever. Here. Spread them out in case there's poison that gets dropped down. You. Excellent. Okay, now. You. What's this? Yep. You can join them. I guess this is going to be a melee-oriented squad. There we go. Except for the signifiers. Now, who's left? Hedge Knights. Dun, 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 dun. We could go all melee, but that doesn't interest me. Okay. And the Expendables, of course, only has a couple left. God dog it. All right. And move right along. You should be able to just take these people out. There we go. Running headlong to us. Oh, I guess these are basically considered to be the what's it called? The random fights that I would have been doing in Act 2. That's why they're so weak. I'm like, why are they throwing spiders at us? But it's because of the area that I'm in. Alright. Now let's figure out what this is, and then we can rest. The next door theater troop proudly reports that work on the new play is complete. Now they are only awaiting the commander's arrival before they hold the premiere. Nice. And still no decrees. 6 days. This might actually be ready by the time I get back. That would be so awesome. Alright, we're good on all these. Yep, begin resting.
If you should ever wish to confess your sins, I will always be willing to listen.
I don't suffer any woman to listen in on my private conversations with a man. Not even Shaylin.
Wow. All right. Nope. Nothing there. Let's go ahead and save. Doom. Then finish Camellia's quest, and then actually, now that I think about it, it might not be ready by the time we get through, because I'm probably going to just teleport back to Dresden, not waste more time. So we might have to do one more quest before that's actually ready, but it's fine. And I want to level up when I have my full team, level them all up in one go. So we need to get Camellia off. But we are getting closer and closer to having our full squad. Boom, doo doo doo, doo 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 doo. Okay, and Lady Camellia, welcome home. We have been expecting you. Camellia looks at the servant for a few moments, bemused. You have been expecting me? Indeed, my lady. Lord Worm ordered that you be sent to him as soon as you arrived. The commander is permitted to follow you, but I must ask your other companions to wait here. Refreshments will be served. Camellia, what's going on here? How curious. Horgus is here and waiting for me, but how did he know? Forgive me for being unable to answer your question, my lady, but those were the precise instructions I received from Lord Worm this morning. Camellia, do you know this man? I have never set eyes on him before. I took up my position here relatively recently. I was hired specifically to serve Lord Worm at his mansion in Kennebrez. Why can't my companions come in too? Lord Gworm was most specific in his request, and I am afraid I cannot speak for his reasons. I can only assume that the conversation will be of a most delicate nature. Please, my friend, let's acquiesce to Horgus's request. I don't wish to make a scene before I fully understand what is going on here. I see you managed to fully repair the mansion after the demonic invasion. Indeed, we have. Fortunately, the mansion was almost unharmed. Many items survived the attack, and Lord Gworm was able to find comparable replacements for those that didn't. Fine, so where should we look for Horgus? Lord Gworm must be somewhere upstairs. He bid me say that Lady Camellia will have no trouble finding him. Please, do come in. Camellia strokes her chin pensively. I was not expecting this. I thought the mansion would be empty, picked to the bones by marauders, if it were standing at all. But seeing it fully restored and inhabited... Camellia narrows her eyes at you. Well, it would be extremely impolite to keep our host waiting, wouldn't it, my friend? Let's go and have a chat with Daddy Dearest. All right. Ah, this is the room of my first mentor.
I'm off.
Ah, this is the room of my first mentor. Take a look around if you want to. I'm sure you could find many of the curious tools and devices she used during our lessons. Camellia runs her fingers over bundled whips and floggers, packed neatly in a drawer, touching each of them with care. I remember them all. This one makes thin wounds on the skin like a razor blade, while that one shreds skin to pieces. As for that one, the black one, it doesn't leave any marks on the skin at all, but deals so much pain your head spins. Why was your mentor so cruel to you? I don't know. Perhaps the old hag was once trained in the same way, or perhaps she simply hated me. Besides, in her eyes, I was not the daughter of a noble family, but merely some urchin that the Honorable Horgus Gworm decided to take in off the street. Why did Horgus allow the Varisian woman to treat you like that? Camellia shrugs. She moved into this house a few years after my mother's death. Horgus often had to go out of Canberra's on business, so he gave me into the care of that old shaman, hoping that she would teach me to keep the spirits on a short leash. That old hag must have known what she was doing was illegal. She was very good at hiding the evidence of her teaching. She always made sure to heal my scars by the time my father came back. Anyway, the Varisian didn't even last 3 months here. Oh, how she wheezed when I plunged my stiletto into her throat, and her eyes, shocked and terrified in equal measure. The old crone never suspected a 6-year-old girl could be capable of such a thing. Why is Horgus still keeping all these things around? Because I asked him to. I want to remember the pain, both the pain the Varisian dealt to me and the pain I paid back to her. A hatred I felt toward her lives in me to this day. Every time I enter this room, my hands start to tremble, and my heart pounds as if it is trying to jump out of my chest. Camellia licks her parched lips. That burning hatred is my most vivid childhood memory. Let's get out of here. Yes, let's go.
I do what I must.
Let's see, is there anything in this room? There's a servant standing there. Lord Gworm is expecting you. Okay. We can go out this way, but I also want to check around here. And... Are you serious? Oh, that's kind of irritating. I didn't realize we needed you, buddy. Alright.
I'm gone.
Ah, camellias. They're still blooming, I see. Ah, camellias. I see they never stop blooming, she smirks. On my father's orders, the garden must have camellias in bloom all year long. Whatever the season, whatever the weather. Why does he even bother, do you think? I don't know. This is the grave of my mother, Iris. She died when I was a child, so I can scarcely remember her. I don't understand. Why would Horgus tend the grave all these years? And why would he plant camellias over it? My father has never shown any tendency towards sentimentality. Camellia turns away. I hate these flowers. My pup's grave. I dug it myself. This is the grave of my pup. I dug it myself and buried the poor animal. Camellia chuckles and turns to you. Have I ever told you about him? He was so cute and warm. I simply adored petting his curly fur, until the moment when I suddenly realized that his little body was lying at my feet and his head was in my hands. Did Maria make you sacrifice your puppy? Camellia freezes for a moment. I suppose it must have been, although I didn't even know of her existence back then. Maria chose me long before we met each other. You know, I don't even remember the pup's name. There have been so many others since him. Dogs, cats, birds. Psycho to the nth degree. Oh man, I can't wait to be able to finish Camellia's romance. I've played it up through Act 4 during the beta, but I've never done it in the full game.
If you dare.
And I've heard getting her true love is difficult. Like she's like Wendewog, where she can be halfway affectionate towards you, but it's difficult to have her true love. Boots of Freest Rain. These boots grant their wearer a +2 bonus to base speed and a constant freedom of movement spell effect.
I'm off.
As the saying goes, every family has a skeleton in its closet. In my case, all the skeletons are hidden in the cellar. Camellia smiles fleetingly at her own joke. This place holds special significance for me, because this is where I killed those thugs who tried to rob Horgus's mansion. They were caught by the guards and I sacrificed them to Maria. This is where they are buried. I still find it hard to believe that Horgus allowed you to kill people just like that. I think he had no choice. He cannot cure me of the spirit's influence no matter how hard he tried, nor could he hand me over to the authorities of Kenebres, because then I should have certainly declared myself to be his illegitimate daughter and revealed all his secrets to the world. That would have stained the glorious name of Horgus Gwyrm, that my papa values even more than his own life. I suppose he could have killed me and buried me right here in the cellar. She shrugs hesitantly. I have no idea why he didn't do it while I was a little girl and he could overpower me. Nevertheless, I can assure you that all my victims buried here were hardened criminals and thugs. No one shed a tear when they never returned from the Horgus mansion that night. So how many skeletons are buried in this cellar? Oh, not as many as you may have assumed. Just the 2, not counting the Varisian. Camellia's gaze wanders without stopping on anything in particular. It seems she is remembering, reliving all the sacrifices she made here. We have to go. All right. And upstairs. And I can't remember. Can you go immediately into this locked door?
I hope you
Hey, yes you
appreciate
can.
this.
So if you recall, this room was locked when we did the quest for Horgus Gwyrm all the way back in Act 1. Welcome to my room, my friend. With an inscrutable smile, Camellia looks around. I was about to apologize for the mess, but it appears the servants were ordered to clean this room. Well, do you have anything to say about the place where I spent my formative years? There are bars on the windows. Camellia turns to the windows and looks at them closely, as if seeing them for the first time. Then she shrugs. They were always here. I moved to this room immediately after my mother died, and this is where I stayed, leaving it only on rare occasions. I suppose my darling papa was afraid that I would slip out without him knowing. Foolish man. If I had ever really wanted to escape, no bars on the windows could have held me. This bed looks too big for a child. I never thought about it. This bed was mine from the very beginning, as well as the countless dresses in the closet, the bouquet of flowers on the windowsill, and the sumptuous meals the servants used to bring me for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and any time I wanted in between. I suppose the servants must have been whispering about me in dark corners, trying to understand why this strange girl was living here in the lap of luxury, although I never cared much about their gossip. Besides, Horgus changed servants as often as he changed his gloves, so none of the staff were ever here for very long. There's so many books in here. I've always loved reading. Books opened entire new worlds to me, and I could visit them all without ever leaving my chair. That's a hefty looking lock on the door. Only Horgus himself and the mansion's head guard had a key to this lock. Even the servants had to call one of them to open the door so they could bring in my lunch. Sometimes I was allowed to leave the room, to take a stroll in the garden, or to attend a fencing class with a specially hired teacher. Sometimes Horgus even took me out into the city when there were festivities or if a trade caravan had arrived from a faraway land. But every time he did it, he made me promise that I would keep within 10 paces of him at all times. A promise. Pah! As if that could ever stop me. You lived surrounded by luxury and care. You wanted for nothing. In fact, you had an enviable life. I'm glad you understand me, my friend. Freedom is always romanticized in books and songs. Artists love to glorify it, but most of them live in penury. They are beautiful ideals, to be sure, and I would happily read about them after yet another delicious dinner ensconced in my soft, warm bed. Let's keep going. Oh, crap. I think there's supposed to be a doorway behind there, but that my perception, did I fail a perception check? I did. We both failed it. It is 35. There is no chance we'd be able to hit it. I wonder if they'll let me bring my party members here after we finish a meeting with Horgus. Is this anything special? This is just the servants' quarter, right? Yeah. Just the servants. We are sure to find Horgus in his secret study. Camellia licks her parched lips. Before we enter, I should like to ask you one question, if you don't mind. You know our family's history better than anyone else in the world. Tell me, what do you think of Horgus as a father? He's not the best, he's not the worst, either. I'm sure he tried his best. So that's what you think. Camellia's gaze wanders the room, never resting on anything in particular. Why are you asking? No special reason. Camellia turns a distracted gaze on you. I just wanted to know your opinion of my father before we meet him face to face. Well, hello, Father. Horgus raises his head and stares vacantly at his daughter for several moments. Then he nods and drains the goblet before him in a single huge gulp. You can smell the sour reek of stale alcohol in the air. Hello, Camellia. So, you finally came, and you even dragged the commander along. I suspected that you wouldn't come here alone. You know, I've been wondering when you would finally show your face here. Haven't I always taught you that it's extremely impolite to be late for an appointment? Camellia wrinkles her nose in disgust. Papa, you stink. I believe you will forgive me this weakness under the circumstances, and if you don't, you can always leave. I won't stop you. The door is right over there. Horgus chuckles bitterly and refills his goblet. Horgus, you were expecting us? This isn't a chance meeting? Actually, what did you do after I left for the Abyss? I left Dresden as soon as the Queen took hold of the reins of government. Of course, I highly respect our dear Galfrey, but it was you I had fallen into the crusade, not her. For whatever reason, I do not believe our Queen will succeed in her attempts to defeat the wound. So, I moved to Nerosian, while my mansion in Kennebrez was under renovation. Horgus turns his eyes on Camellia and shrugs. But none of that matters anymore, does it? Horgus, you were expecting us? This isn't a chance meeting? It was not you I was expecting, although I thought you might put in an appearance. No, I was waiting for Camellia. Some time ago I received a letter from my beloved daughter, in which she invited me to meet her at my mansion in Kennebrez. I came as quickly as I could. I have been here for several days now, waiting for my dearest daughter to arrive. Horgus frowns at you, examining your face. Don't tell me you knew nothing about this meeting. Could it be that my sweet girl has you wrapped around her little finger, that she tricked you into coming here to watch the spectacle unfold? The little minx. He gesticulates wildly, spilling half the contents of his goblet on the floor. I came here to help Camellia talk to the spirits. I didn't expect to meet you here. Surprised, were you? As for me, I knew the moment I received her letter why she wanted to meet with me. She wants to talk to the spirits, does she? How can you have spent so much time with my talented daughter without realizing that whenever Camellia wishes to talk to a spirit, it always involves, Horgus gulps, murder. I have no idea what kind of spirit she has in that bone trinket, but why would it want so much blood? Horgus takes a huge gulp from his goblet and immediately refills it again. You do know that Camellia killed 5 people while she lived under this roof, don't you? First, her mentor, an old Varisian woman, then 4 more. Well, they were thugs, bandits, and murderers. They had it coming, to tell the truth. They broke into this mansion seeking to rob us. That's Kennebrez for you, a border city with all kinds of riffraff lurking about. My guards caught them, tied them up, and tossed them in the cellar. They never reported the break-in to the authorities. Why bother? Those thugs would have been executed anyway. Holron always made short shrift of such rabble. Hick! Horgus belches noisily. But the things Camellia did to them down in the cellar, I never saw it myself. I only heard it. And then later, when I buried their corpses, I felt relieved that I was not in their place. Camellia remains silent. Only the sound of her labored breathing indicates that she is still here. Why did you condone Camellia's inclinations? Why did you protect her secret? Why did you cover up the murders? Horgus straightens his back proudly. Camellia is the daughter of Horgus Worm, a true daughter, my blood, though I may have concealed that fact from society. Yes, she is special, unusual, very sensitive to the world around her. Whose fault is it that the damn spirits drove her insane? I know nothing about spirits. I have never talked to them myself. But Camellia, she is naturally gifted. She understands them. She says we have a chance to learn how to close the war wound once and for all. This end justifies all means, doesn't it, Commander? What is a father to do? Horgus sighs heavily. His shoulders slump as if weighed down by a burden he has been carrying for many years. The bloodline of Horgus Worm cannot be broken, and I have no other heirs. Camellia, what's going on here? She remains silent. You can't see her face, but you hear her breathing, shallow and fast. Her shoulders are rising and falling jerkily, and her right hand is trembling. Camellia, explain. Camellia jolts slightly and turns to you. Her eyes seem to look right through you. Her lips are parted and her rasping breath reminds you of an animal's growl. Her right hand is clutching a thin stiletto that seems to have come out of nowhere. Isn't it obvious? Horgus stands up heavily from the table and approaches his daughter, stumbling a little. She has finally come to take my life. I've been waiting for this moment since the day it all began. I knew it would come. Of course, I had hoped that Camellia would placate her spirit somehow, or perhaps that the commander would close the Worldwound and put an end to all these sacrifices. But it's too late for that now. I am ready to die. My whole life is a lie. It does not even feel like mine, but someone else's. I did everything I could to ensure that the name of Horgus Worm would go down in history and his bloodline live on. I have had to lie and cover up crimes along the way. Well, the time has come to pay the piper, and if my death helps to uncover the secret of closing the Worldwound, well, it's not the worst way to go. Horgus gulps. But before you do what you came here to do, Camellia, let me reveal my final secret to you. Camellia's voice sounds alien and unfamiliar. It is hoarse and low like gravel crunching underfoot. Talk. Your mother, Iris, genuinely loved you, Camellia. But after she saw how you killed that pup in the garden, she started to worry about you. It was she who insisted on the doctors and the psychics and the exorcist. They all examined you, but nothing helped. You kept on killing animals, neighboring cats, stray dogs. You told us stories about the spirits who whispered in your ear. Iris didn't believe you really had an ability to communicate with the spirits. She didn't think you were gifted, but I did. And if a daughter of Horgus Worm could be no more than a lunatic. Several years passed like this, several very grueling years, for Iris more than myself. And then one night, Horgus swallows the lump in his throat. I entered your room and saw Iris leaning over your bed with a pillow in her hands. I pushed her away from you. It was dark. Iris stumbled and she hit her head on the corner of a cabinet. I buried her in the garden and planted a flower bed of camellias over her grave. I thank the gods that you remember nothing of that horrible night. Now you know everything, Camellia. Did you kill Camellia's mother? Horgus sighs. It was an accident, but I was prepared to do it, and I would do the same again if I had to. The bloodline of Horgus Worm cannot be broken. Forgive me, Camellia. Forgive me for keeping you locked away. Forgive me for never acknowledging you as my daughter. Forgive me for depriving you of your mother and never being able to replace her. Now I have said everything. I'm ready. You killed my mother? And you decided to tell me that now? Camellia's whisper sounds like a hissing of a venomous snake. Why? To unburden your soul? To show me how you protected me back then? Maybe you're hoping I'll hesitate before I stab you in your disgusting heart? Or are you trying to make me weep for my mother, the innocent victim? Well, I don't give a damn about her. The bitch wanted me dead and she failed. Good riddance, I say. And I don't give a damn about you either, Horgus Worm. I don't care about your bloodline or about any excuses you can come up with. Do you really think that I couldn't have escaped your mansion if I'd wanted to? You never acknowledged me as your daughter, twist no skin off my nose. You wanted to marry a noblewoman to continue the Worm line. Well, that was your own affair. You provided for me and didn't try to stop me communing with the spirits. I never wanted anything more from you. But now I don't need you anymore. I have Professor Snape, who will protect me and hide me from justice if it comes for me. As for you, you were just garbage left over from my former life, and it is time to dispose of you. The stiletto trembles in Camellia's hand. She grips the handle so tight her knuckles turn white. Evil. Actually, no, say nothing. The stiletto freezes in front of Horgus Worm's heart. Camellia licks her parched lips. A secret for a secret, Horgus. I have dreamed of doing this for a long time. I've dreamed of this without even realizing it was my heart's desire. You were always near, my protector and patron. How could I even entertain the thought of killing you? But the forbidden fruit is so much sweeter. The stiletto softly pierces Horgus Worm's chest. He flinches. An involuntary moan bursts from his lips. His foul breath hits Camellia's face, but she doesn't even wince. Her eyes drink in every grimace of pain on her father's face. Can you feel that? Just one little stab, and your life starts to bleed out. My stiletto has pierced your heart. Now it withers and paled like a butterfly on a pin. If I drag the stiletto out now, you'll die quickly. But if I keep it in, you'll suffer longer, perhaps even choke on your own blood. So which should I choose? The stiletto plunges into Horgus' chest, right up to the handle. He coughs, blood bubbling on his lips. With the last vestiges of his strength, he stands before Camellia and looks her straight in the eye. Don't you have anything to say? Or do you think you can maintain some dignity even at the very end? You think you have it in you? She rips the stiletto out of Horgus' chest, only to stab him again. You are garbage. Get out of my life. The stiletto plunges into Horgus again and again until his chest begins to look like a bloody mess. Die! Die once and for all, Horgus Gwyrm. Well, that's it. It's all over. She tosses her head back and bursts into mad laughter that ends in a horrible rasp. Why, then, do I feel so tired? Camellia gets to her feet and smooths her tousled hair. It was all over too quickly. Don't you agree, my friend? As if something was missing. It's like having sex without climaxing. The end result is naught but exhaustion. Perhaps it is because Horgus did not try to resist. Camellia taps her chin with her finger pensively. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. Let's have some more fun, shall we? Why didn't you tell me that Horgus will be waiting for us in Kenabres? Camellia shrugs, a trifle confused. I just didn't. Perhaps I want to surprise you, or perhaps I was worried that you'd try to talk me out of it. So, are you ready to talk to Maria now? No, not quite yet, but don't worry. I shall be ready soon. Just one last step, one final drop. Did Maria really crave Horgus' blood, or was it you that wanted it? Camellia's gaze sharpens for a moment, but she quickly relaxes. Yes and yes. Maria and I are one. Her desires are my desires. We have become quite inseparable at this point. What did you have in mind? Horgus did bring me some small amount of pleasure, of course, but it was not enough. Camellia's voice drops to a conspiratorial whisper. I want to make up for lost time, to let loose like never before, to celebrate my ultimate liberation. There are an awful lot of servants in this mansion. Let's gather them all in the garden and feed Maria with their blood together, you and I. What do you say? I have never done this with another person before. Until now, you have only been an observer. And I want my first time to be with you, my friend. Evil. I like your idea. Gather the servants. Camellia grants you a happy smile. This will be unforgettable. More slaves for the Lich. Please come here. I have an important announcement for you all from Lord Gwyrm. You are all fired. What? It's hardly a surprise. Everyone knows that Gwyrm changes his servants all the time. This can't be. I want to speak to Lord Gwyrm himself. Will I at least get my week's wages? Oh, don't worry. Lord Gwyrm has tasked me with ensuring that everyone is paid in full. No one will leave empty-handed.
Save the last one for me.
A curse on the Gwyrm family. Woo! this feels so wrong. And yet so right.
I suppose we are done here. We certainly had a good time, didn't we? Did you like it, my friend? It was a little different from my usual sacrifices to Maria, but mass murder does have its own appeal. It's wild, primordial, unbridled. You felt it too, didn't you? The exhilaration. You know, I suppose you deserve a confession. I have never said anything like this to anyone before. Are you ready? Steel yourself. You are the best friend I could ever hope to have. You understand me. You help me. You are the best thing that has happened to me in my entire life.
You are really special to me too, Camellia. The Lich remembers their sacrifices to Urgathoa very fondly.
You know, now that we're so close, I wish to confess something else to you. Are you ready?
She smiles teasingly.
There is no Maria. I made her up.
But why?
Isn't it obvious? To have a reasonable explanation for all the murders. So that my protector would be too busy thinking of our bright future to lecture me on morality and decency. I like to kill. I don't simply want it. I need it. It is something deep within me. My desire is like an annoying fly buzzing around a room. One that cannot be seen or swatted away. But the deaths of enemies on the battlefield don't bring me any relief. It comes only with the deaths of those who considered me a friend. The deaths must be unexpected, so that I can see the disbelief and dread in my victims' eyes. But I am a clever girl. I know that society would never condone my unconventional desires. So I invented a nice story that I could feed to those who would protect me from society. As you may have noticed, my lie has worked remarkably well.
I suspected that you were lying to me.
Did you? You hid your true thoughts from me very well. You are an excellent liar. Perhaps even better than I am. My sincerest congratulations.
So when you asked me to come here today so you could talk to Maria, that was a lie?
Of course it was. After you and I visited the brothel in Alashanira, I felt an unexpected and overwhelming desire to see my dear sweet papa. So as soon as we returned to Dresden, I made some inquiries and learned that he had moved to Nerosian. I sent him a letter inviting him to meet me at his mansion in Canabris, and that's when I asked you to accompany me. I decided it would be best not to disclose the true purpose of our visit to you. If you had known that Horgus would be waiting for us here, you might have discerned my intentions.
Why have you decided to tell me all this now?
Ah, that's a good question. You would have learned the truth sooner or later, you know. I've told you too many stories about Maria. You never would have let the matter lie. Of course, I could have left. Fled in the dead of night, leaving you a farewell note. But I like traveling with you, my friend. I like feeling the power you've shared with me. That is why I decided to take the risk and open up to you.
Where do you draw your power from then?
I draw it from the spirits, just like all shamans do. Spirits surround us. They are everywhere, even within the Worldwound. Only they never beg me to save them or try to tell me how to heal Sarkoris. To be honest, I couldn't care less about Sarkoris, the Worldwound, or the Crusade. My sphere of interest lies elsewhere.
What is the story behind your amulet?
This? Once a snake crawled into our garden. I killed it, gutted it, dried out its bones, and then I told Horgus about Maria and asked him to decorate the amulet with gold and make it into a necklace. Despite its mundane origins, it is now imbued with magic that hides me from the prying eyes of Iomede's paladins and inquisitors. Daddy Dearest was quite insistent on that point. Clearly, he feared that if I were ever caught, I would reveal all the dirty secrets of the Worms to the world. But now that I'm with you, I have no need of this amulet anymore. Do I? No one would dare lay a finger on a companion of the Crusade Commander.
I've heard enough.
Is the interrogation over? Good. I was beginning to feel rather bored. So, what is your verdict, my friend?
You are a murderer, and your place is on the gallows. You know, it could be one or two. Would you consider her a friend? Not really. Nah, because she purposefully stabs people who she's close to. So no, you are a murderer and your place is on the gallows. But you are useful to me. And the Lich does not fear powerful or dangerous people. So he will not banish you from his side.
Well, at least that was honest of you. I am glad we had this conversation, Commander. And thank you, all the same. I have no more secrets from you, I promise. Provided, of course, that you can still believe my promises.
Excellent. Love, 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 love that quest line. All right, I think that's enough for one day. Hope all of you enjoyed the video today. If you did, please leave me a like down below, share this content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.